Okay, let's look at some photographs to see some real life examples, as real life as we can have, because like I say, the photo will distort. And this day when I was in San Francisco, there's just beautiful atmosphere. This was about, I don't know, 8 a.m. in the morning. Notice how this area, though it is incredibly intricate, we have buildings, we have windows, trees, we have a light side, we have a dark side, we have streets, we have cars. But look at that area, when I take this off. Look how it holds together as one unit. The reason it does is because it's coming closer in value. The lights are getting darker, the darks are getting lighter, and they're all getting influenced by the same temperature of light. And once again, it's not super blue. We'll see some mountainscapes and things that will go really blue, but this one is more a warmed atmosphere as the early sun's hitting those particles. But we have, if we were painting these buildings, look at the light side of that building. If you ever hit it as light as the side of that building or the side of these cars, it's going to jump off and not look like it's in the distance. And the same with, look at these trees. There's trees and bushes there, but nowhere does it hit the value of these. So they sit back into the distance. And you can use it as a really nice design element. You know, if you have a diva, if it's this building, if it's this car, if you have this tree, this is the stage, right? This might not even be a co-star. It might be at the stage. So I was talking about the desert earlier. So the desert, once again, does not have as much atmospheric perspective, but you still have it. If you look at these shadows going quite blue, these are a little more violet, and it's holding together in a closer value range and lighter value range than this palm tree up close. But this distant mountain is a few miles away. I don't know. This is down in Southern California, Borrego Springs. Great place to paint. But that's a few miles away. I want you to take a look at what this looks like if you're on the coast. Look at this area. This, on the other hand, is about, I don't know, 900 yards away compared to a few miles. It's just across a small bay on the coast, but we've got the spindrift. We have all the atmosphere from the sea, sometimes fog pulling in and coming out. So it's really creating this depth. And you can see here that, let's pull out one of the light sides of that green. Right? Your eye is reading that as green because of the material it's made out of. But as you can see, it is a very grayed, blue-gray, desaturated color. A mistake many beginning artists make when they're painting landscape painting is they will say to themselves, well, those are trees and they're in the distance, but they're still trees, so I have to paint them really green. And then I come in with the shadow of those trees, and you can see we've killed any depth that we would have had. So look for that atmospheric perspective, and you can even see here, this is even separating into each set of cliffs, mountainsides that go into the water are coming closer together in value and lightening and taking on the influence of the atmosphere. Here's a scene in Venice, and this is much more subtle, but it's still happening. If you do a comparison of the dark values in these windows, and compare those to the values in these windows, or the value in anything in the dock, any of these dark shadow values, into these distant trees. Can you see how we can use that to really show depth? And this isn't a great distance, but we need to be very aware of that. If we start putting really black shadows in these windows, can you see how we've killed any sense of depth? And the same can be said if we were to come in with a real white on here. Once again, it's not showing that there's atmosphere and things that we're looking through, so it's not showing the correct lighting scenario. Okay, one more just to bring that point home. Once again, a coastal area. This is a foggy day. I just want to show a difference between a real sunny day and a foggy day. But This is, wow, I don't even know. So maybe 300 yards or less across from this cliff to the other. And this is absolutely made out of all the same material. It's all cypress with the same ground covering. But look how this will really help us show this beautiful silhouetted shape. And these shapes are so gorgeous. But if I pulled this back distance and I kept these values too close and didn't take into account atmospheric perspective, you wouldn't be able to see it.